One of the biggest things I've realized over the past few years that the guys who are making way more money than me, my friends are making way more money than me, 10 times as much, what they're doing versus what I'm doing. And the biggest difference, the one thing difference I can see that makes up for this big delta, it's not automating things with AI. It's not having a better sales process necessarily. It's not having a better service delivery. Definitely having a better service delivery. It's not any of those things. The only thing, literally the only thing, is way more volume. Way more volume. Way more volume. I cannot emphasize enough by saying way more. If you're doing one sales call a day and you're up to doing 10 sales calls a day, you 10x the amount you're doing. If you go from 10 sales calls a day and then you get 10 sales guys, you're doing 100 times more than the first time. So if you're making 1K a month by doing one sales call a day, you can make 100K a month by having 10 people do 10 sales calls a day, right? Makes obvious sense, right? That is literally the thing. Some friends I know, right? They have a $600 LTV of a client, right? Lifetime value is $600. Profit margin, let's say half of that, right? Cool. They just sign on hundreds and hundreds of clients every month. If you sign on 100 clients a week and you have $300 of profit per client, you're making 30 grand profit a week, or 60K a month, or sorry, 60K a week times 4 and a bit weeks a month, which is 250K a month profit revenue, which is about 125 profit. Nothing's changed. My LTV is twice as much as theirs. So theoretically, I could sell half the number of people and make the same amount of revenue. So I could have 5 sales guys doing 10 sales calls a day. That is the biggest difference. It's literally just, if you look at the entire business as a funnel, how many people reach out to, how many bookings you have, how many showing calls you have, how many people you close, how many people buy again after buying the first time around from you. All these things can be optimized. And let's say your show rate to calls is 40%. If you increase that to 60%, you have 1.5 times the amount of, let's say, opportunities, which means you close 1.5 times the amount of number of people. So if you're making, 30K a month, or let's say 40K a month, you'll go up to 60K a month. It's as simple as that, and then your cost of acquiring a client goes down because you have to reach out to less people, and it costs to reach out to people. So you can reach out to less people, or reach out to the same number of people, so your cost of stays the same. The amount of money you make goes 1.5x. Obviously, you have cost to fulfill and stuff, but that means just way more profit. Way more, profit at the end of the day. You make way more money. Your sales guys' time gets leveraged more, so you can have less sales guys and get more value out of them. One issue I'm having is my personal sharp rate is between 40 and 50%. Let's say my sharp rate is 40%, and I increase it to 70%. That is a 75% increase in the number of sales calls I'm having. It's almost double the amount of sales calls I'm having. Just by doubling my sharp rate, I will literally double the amount of sales, and through that, double the amount of revenue I'm having in the business by literally changing one variable. Now, if you do that, let's say you double the closing rate, double the sharp rate, you double like a few things in the business, you could like 2, 4, 8, 10x the business just from doubling certain few metrics. Like if I double sharp rate, I get double the amount of revenue. Then also double the closing rate, I'll get 4 times the revenue. If I triple the LTV, 10x the LTV of a client, I could massively grow the business very, very quickly. So genuinely the biggest thing I've seen in business is literally this. It's literally just doing more volume. Obviously, at the end of the day, you want to improve these metrics, these conversion rates down the funnel, like through the clients going through the business. But other than that, I'm what I would consider generally, I'm not trying to label myself with any sort of, let's say, constricting labels, but I generally tend to optimize things. I want to make things perform better. A lot of these guys I know, they don't really care. They know the metrics and they just scale it. And if things break, obviously they fix it, but they just scale what's working. So because of this, I'm just going to be increasing the volume. My sales guys have only been having 5 sales calls a day. And imagine a 40% show up rate for that. So it's 2 sales calls a day. I'm immediately now going to try and improve that show up rate. And I found things of guys doing a similar thing to me. We're getting 70% show up rate. So I'm going to theoretically go from 40 to 70% show up rate. I'm going to double the amount of sales calls per day for my sales guys. So I basically will go from 2 sales calls a day, from 5 booked in calls, to let's say 10 booked in calls a day. And instead of 2 shows calls, I'll go to 70% show rate, so 7 shown calls. So that is a 3.5x in the number of shown calls I'll be having per day, if I get the same metrics they are, by literally copying what they're doing exactly. So I should pretty much have exactly the same results if I just do exactly the same thing. So 3.5 times more shown calls a day. That's 3.5 times more sales. If I'm closing 5 people a week, I'll be going to close 17.5 people a week. Way more. It's way more. So that's the main thing. That's what I'm doing. That's what's going to happen. And obviously my sales guys will make more money as well, so it's better for them. And I'm changing my offer a little bit, so my close rate might go down, but I'll make way more LTV, way more value, way more profit per client. So that's the idea. That's what I'm doing. That's what I spent today doing. Optimizing my VSL, optimizing the meeting reminders, all that kind of stuff to improve these kind of metrics. And we'll see. But yeah, good luck. Hopefully it helps. And hopefully I can provide some value.